Okay, hi everyone. I hope you're all doing well. And I'm going to continue on the portrait of my granddaughter, Ellie. And so we'll move forward on this, okay? I have the kneaded eraser. Like I said, it's pliable. And at first I said I didn't really care for this brand, Stadler, whatever, Stadler. But it seems to be all right. It's got a lot of friction to it. So I'm going to, it's like magnetic almost as far as the graphite's concerned. Just going to slide that over that and knock some of the picture back. It's still visible. I'll show you that on a close-up. Okay, so I'm just knocking back some of the darker lines here, there, and everywhere. I don't want to get rid of them, but I do want to knock them back to where they can be hidden under the ink. This is going to be India ink. This is India ink on Claybord. I might use black Createx over here, but I will not be using the black Createx anywhere else most likely because the dark ink is fine, but I might want this to be the Createx black ink. All right, so what I have here is I've cut out a few different, I'm going to put the light ink in. I'll show you the ink again. You can get this from Timothy John, Luke Smith at Ink Flingers website. You're going to love it if you get it because this is a light mixture of India ink. And then the next one would be the medium. And it is a controlled painting when you have these mixtures because you're not just taking India ink out of a bottle, which you can do, you know, full-blown black, and spraying it and trying to control the lighter tones with the airbrush. It's black and it's more difficult. So most black and whites are really gray tones, right? With some black places on them, like here. You can look at this and you can see, you're not going to see a lot of black. You're going to see light tones of gray, mid-tones, different values. Look at the lips there. And surely that would be hard to do with black, right? Too cartoonish or not even. I don't even know. It just, I don't paint that way. And even when I paint a t-shirt, I use a gray tone. And then I would use the black, a gray mixture. It was Urix Medea t-shirt paint, Urix Warm Gray. And then I would do the black on top of that. Okay, so anyway, these three inks I highly recommend them. If you like painting with Createx colors, Wicked colors, all that different stuff, the candies, that's great. But if you want to do black and whites, give this a shot, okay? All right. I've done it on Bristol board. I've done it on all kinds of surfaces. And the Claybord, you know, even copy paper, I fooled around doodling, you know? All right, so I'm taking this and I'm filling up my Micron side bottle, custom Micron. And okay, I'm going to start. I did misplace my handle. Everything's somewhere, right? But right now my handle is not where I put it, so be it, right? Okay, let me turn down my Mac valve here and get this to be a very low pressure so that you can control it. Okay, let me get this going here. There it goes. Very slow there. All right, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to be dusting in some tones. All right, so we could start with, let's get, let me just look at this for a minute and see what I have. All right, let's do the nostrils here. I'm not worried about tilting it and lining it all up. I'm not worried about this one lining up with the other one. I am just looking for each shape and hopefully getting what I want. Because my hand cuts were not perfect. But so inside the nostril, I'm spraying off of the actual shield of the copy paper. And I'm going to get that a little darker in there. So I'll do it again. Kind of aim in. Get very watery. All right, so we have, I should knock back the lines more, which I still can do, having said that, because it's just maybe a Tombow or something could go around it, which is the smaller eraser. So for example, I could take my Tombow and I could knock back, clean it off on the paper, on the copy paper because it has friction. And then I could come in here and I can get rid of, as a matter of fact, this edge is going to get ruined anyway. And this light mixture, let's zoom in. This light mixture is very, very light. So that's a great thing because it's erasable and it allows me to just treat it, you know, got a little bit more there that I didn't want. So just take that out right there. I'll just take that out and put it back in. There, see, it came off like nothing. All right, so let's turn that a little bit. All right, so let's do the other one. Again, this is gray tones. This is values that are very light. So I'm not trying to do anything super dark. All right, so we're just gonna mist this at the bottom. I know there's a little bit more. Okay, so we got some tone in there, but I got a little bit of a wet spot right there. All right, now the corner of her nostril, right off here, I'll turn that down a little bit more even. All right, has a little more tone right here. So I'm just gonna kind of go off the edge here a little bit. Kind of almost like a pump stroke. It's always better to just do little at a time, just a little. And then, like for example, I can go back to this one, it's dry now. And I can just take that shape and just make it a little bit darker by just spraying on it again. Okay, that's it, inner, going into the nostril, all right? So now we're gonna back this out, far out there, kind of get a feel of where we're going with this picture. Okay, I have all different copies. You have to have a lot of Xerox copies, photo copies. Some are better than others, but for stencil cutouts and things like that, this works good. I even have some color copies that I have, which I'll use next. All right, the color copy was a little bit more accurate. It was still on cheap paper, so it wasn't like, oh, I'm ruining a photograph. The real good photograph is over here. This one is just so let's see, this is just a cheaper one. So the reason why I cut this one out, I'm trying to line up right there by the eye. So let's zoom in, whoops, right there. Maybe let's try a super zoom, see if we can really see it. Okay, and tilt it up a little. I'm gonna just tilt that up a little bit more. There we go. Okay, now what I'm gonna do here is protect her eye right there. Let me focus on looking at this really carefully. Hopefully I have a good cutout. I'm seeing a little flat spot right there. So I'm gonna take the X-Acto knife, and on the side here I have the all-purpose, well, it's the Art Tool cutting mat. I'm gonna take that flat spot off because again, my cut was just a little bit flat there. I'm gonna look at it again, make sure I am happy with it. And I'm not at this moment, so I'm going to take a little more off. I don't want to take too much off, just like shaving it down. Sorry, I'm hitting the camera, guys. So now I feel like I have it a little rounded. There's still a little burr right there. I don't like that. So let me put it onto a piece of white paper above. I know it's out of your view, so I can really see beyond the gray. Now I did it. So what I did is I had the white paper and I put this up on it, which I can't get the camera to aim that way. right at the moment. So now that's gone. Okay, so now, oops, there's a burr and a bump. Okay, we don't want that. So let me see if I can fix that. Again, going on to the white paper so that I can see. Man, I'm hitting the camera every time. Okay, so that's pretty good. I'm still seeing a little bit of a flesh tone there. That means I have to take that cut out a little further. And now it's gone, and there we have it, okay? So all I'm doing is just looking for a little further. They gotta be pretty perfect. I mean, you know, you're making your own stencil. And, okay, so let's just try it. You know, we'll put this on here. I'm using the light mixture. The nose has tone on it, okay? And the inner part right here, if you look, is a lighter area. So I'll point with the Tombow. All right, so in here, on a better photocopy, this one is not, there's actually a lighter area in here that's under the eye, and then the nose has some tone on it. And then there's a little tone in the corner, but right now I'm gonna focus on a little dusting of color, of value, on the nose itself. So I'm going to make sure that I'm lined up good, and I wasn't. And I'm going to make sure it seems like it's good there. But just for the sake of argument, you want to make sure everything is where it's supposed to be. I'm pretty happy with that. So there's tone. Like I said, there's a little bit of a highlight off this side. So I will put a whisper here, just a whisper. Whoops, I need more air. I'm just going to put a whisper here to help me, and I'm going to take it out later because it's not it's a highlight area. But here on the nose bridge, on the bridge of the nose, I'm going to put a little whisper of tone, just a little bit, and I'll go up that way with it. And let's just see what I got without moving it too much. Yep, just a little bit. This is all I'm doing in the beginning, okay? So I'll show you it again after. Just one more pass, that's it. Okay, so now you should be able to see some tone there. Let's get that zoomed in. Yeah, that's enough, because remember, she's very fair skinned. And what I did wrong on the first one with the Bristol board, and it's good to explain your mistakes, especially as a teacher. You know, the student will learn more because this, you know, we're going to make mistakes as we go along. That's for sure. Doesn't matter how good you are. That's why, you know, there's erasers and stuff too. So we could come back in here later and show up that highlight, probably with a blunt eraser. I'm not going to use the aggressive eraser. I can use the good old number 2 pencil, the pink eraser. I just can kind of take that back out right there, that highlight. Put the highlight in, I should say. All right, so if I just cut that in nice like that, then I have a little bit of a section of one area to another. That will tell me where to go. See the highlight drawn on the nose there? Okay, now let's focus on, let's see. Let me do the inner mouth. I got already with that, and I was pretty happy with the lining up. That would be black, and I don't have black in the airbrush right now, so I'm going to look at my stencils over here, see what I got. Okay, got the nostrils in. All right, so just, you know, just give me a second here while I figure what I'm gonna do next. Okay, so let's put a little tone. Now, I used the color photo for this one because I could see the highlight. There's a highlight right there going off her lip. All right, so all I want to do is lay this on there and put a little tone beyond that highlight. That will help the highlight show up. I am going to knock that back a little bit more. I can see it, so it's good enough. Even more, just a little bit. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to put this, too many stencils. Okay, now let me put this out of the way. So what I'm trying to do is put them off to the side with a little piece of tape on them so that they're not in my way. All right, so now I want to line this mouth up, her mouth, right to where it goes. I'm going to get rid of a little bit of this stencil because it's crashing into the other picture and it's giving me a little bit of a, you know, trying to slide it around. All right, so here we go. Line up. Right up to there, right up to there. And am I hitting the lip right down below? Yeah, it looks good. I'm going to make sure again, because this is a highlight. There we go. Now we just tilt it up a little bit. I won't spray until it's lined up perfectly. And it's not yet. It's getting there. Because some of the drawing below has disappeared from, not from me erasing just now, I don't think. I think it was from, let's go with that. All right, like I said, I'm only going to put a dusting off of the mouth. I mean, in the corner, there's going to be a little bit of color, you know, a little shading there. But right here, I'm going to come up and just kind of make a little feather stroke and then just a light dusting, one pass, that's it. Now it's appearing, okay? This is getting dark. I got to be careful. Oops, I just made a smear. I got to remember that this has to dry, so I'll just kind of take that out, hopefully. Nope, that's erasable now because it's got a little ugly there, but that's all right. Things, you know, things work out as we go. So what else do I need? I need to look carefully at the corner of her mouth, knowing that the shadow and the 3-dimension is going this way. So there's a shadow and a little highlight, and that makes that look like it's, you know, coming up a little bit. But to do that right, I can erase the shadow part and even lighten the line just so I can see it a little bit. All right, so this can probably work well with just probably one of these. I'm not sure of the angle yet. It's too steep. I don't want it to curve in. So we're going to go to the bigger shape just to get a broader area that's straighter. Yeah, this will go straighter that way. All right, where does it end? I think it ends somewhere around here. So the shadow has to be on the inside. And we need it to be the straighter. Let me try this. There we go. That's it right there. Just hunt around on the shields and you'll find it. All right, so it's coming off the corner of the mouth. Right about there. It's not much that I'm putting here. Again, I'm sketching. So what I want to do is just have, you know, a very light. I'm going to treat this very ghostly in the beginning because I don't want to go beyond where I should go. So I want to keep it her fair skin. And so right now it seems like it's working out pretty good. Just erasing that little highlight in the circle. That's on the ball of the nose. Just leaving it there to show up. And I'll get zoomed back in on that. Just a little highlight that's waiting. You know, there's going to be highlights in here too. Okay, so Having done that with the aggressive eraser, I'm going to take a little more of this off right here, because I took it off like sandpaper. Again, I'm using the copy paper to clean the eraser. Okay, so that means you could spin your wheels with the dirty eraser. It won't erase nothing. All right, this area I'll work on that later. I don't want to make a mess there. All right, I think I will go back and do a little darker right here, and I do believe that's the shape right there. So I'm going to hit it again because I looked at it and I'm happy with it. Mostly spray on the stencil and let it deflect onto the surface. There we go. Oops, sorry guys. I should have zoomed. All right, so now you can see kind of where I'm going. There's going to be a little, let's see, right here. Oh, I didn't draw that in, so I'm not going to mess with it. There's a little line right here that I have to put in later. Let's look at anything freehand here. I could probably put a little shadow right off the edge of the nostril right there. Just a little freehand. Okay, now we're starting to get a little three-dimensional shape, but I have to go very slow and I have to look carefully at what I'm doing. All right, so I'm going to get a little more tone, I think, on the inner mouth here. So let's see if I can find a way to protect the highlight without, probably the littler one. These shields are great. Drew Blair has a laser cutter that just does a great job, and that's probably not going to do it there. You got to find the shape. I think I can probably put a little, whoa, I got a little too much going on there. Too much. Yeah, I can use a freehand shield here, and just be careful when I go up near the round part. Okay, so there's the highlight. Now, it is pretty dark on the lip. The lip's going to even have some form right here in the beginning. So the tone goes all the way over, but I got to be careful. I want to capture the upper mouth shape, which I'm not going to. Oops, we got a little problem here, Houston. What was that from? The shield? Well, that will just be erased. Okay, so let's do that. Let's get rid of that. Clean the eraser, and just take that right out. This is Claybord. Now, see on the Bristol board, I could do this. I could erase it, but I could not help but get texture. I'm getting no texture here. It's as smooth as the board is new. So you could see that when I erased it, it is gone. That area there, I'll erase carefully, but not on the camera. I don't want to mess that up. I could probably put a little tone and protect this highlight right here. So I have to find the roundness to it. There it is. And just whisper a little color value, I should say, right there. Okay, so now I'm capturing the highlights much better than before when I was strictly relying on the stencils, and I like the broken down pieces of the stencils that are easier to manipulate. Okay, so let's see if we can kind of find that shape. There we go. I love these stencils, right? Hand shields, freehand hand shields. Okay, so I don't have to worry about any of these little openings, which I have tape on some of them. And I want to just make sure I'm blocking, I should say, blocking the, okay, just a whisper, one pass, two passes. That's it. And you can see it, okay? That's what I did wrong before. That's where I was going a little bit off base, getting too heavy-handed with this And you live and learn, right? So anyway, let's see what we got here with this area where I can probably come in here. I want to get that shape right. And just whisper a little tone right there. Okay? It's all building blocks. It's all going to, because these are out of focus eyelashes. I'm sorry, guys. What I just did was, let me just get back to here. I just, I didn't have you zoom. All I did was say, I took the shield. I'm sorry about that. And I found my shape in here. I could make it a little darker so I could do it again. And I just put a little tone on the eye right out there. See, now we've got the socket area working, and then there's a little freehand wisp going up here. That just kind of blows up into out of focusville. Okay. All right. So let's back it out again and go over to, okay, I'm gonna switch over now. I'm not gonna start shading in the face and all that because, I mean, I could put a little freehand tone on her right there. That's it. You know, and I could put a little under the lips, just a little. Just when, like I say, don't want to repeat myself, but less is more, right? I've got to go very carefully. Tim has a thing he calls, John Luke Smith, the 1% rule. And if you go on his channel and you watch a complete part 1 through, say, 6 of him painting a beautiful painting in black and white, he will emphasize that in his videos, in his live streaming and all. Remember the 1% rule. And he's taught us all that. And sharing that with you is what he teaches all of us anyway. So basically, it's better to hold off for a second and reevaluate and then go back in. That's how I understand it. I'm not, you know, Tim can probably explain it better. Okay, so I did find, yesterday I had the wrong, the oval wasn't squished enough, so I didn't have the right shield. And I hunted around and I found this one. Let me just make sure there's not a little dooflicky in there. Yep, there was. All right, so we're gonna put the black into the airbrush, and we're going to, I'll just spray that a little bit right now for a test with the gray tone. Let me just see if it's reaching the top of that and the bottom. Oops, got watery, so I'll just, all I'm doing is just touching that because I blew too much air through. I just put a whisper of color on there because it's actually going to go to the other. Okay, so it's got some tone on there now. So let's zoom in and we'll put a little tone back on the other one. Having the right, I mean, for me to cut this out perfect is not something that I did well. It wasn't good enough, let's put it that way. So now we're gonna get in here, maybe zoom it in more even. And I will be switching to the black, but let's see if that goes over. Nope, so we wanna turn this, whoops. Turn the swiveler. There we go, that's good enough, right? Okay, so now we're gonna line that up. I'm not worried about the highlight that's drawn in there. I know where it is and I could put it in later, you know, with maybe Createx white, you know. Air dry, spray. The reason why I'm not just going to the black is I have this in the gun. So I just make sure it all fits right, and it does. Right on the money. Now, having that being more perfect, as far as somebody freehand cutting it out, makes all the difference in the world, you know, because it's an elliptical shape. It's got to be done perfect to look like the human eye, right? Time for a little water here, wet my whistle. I'll be doing the black right now. And then, so what I'm going to do is I have plenty of gray, plenty of light mixture in here still. So I'm just going to take, like I did yesterday or whenever I posted that video. Okay, I'm going to be putting this, oh, that was yesterday, but I'm not posting this one 2 nights in a row. I'm going to let a day or so go by so there's time for you to look at the other ones. This will be up though either tomorrow night, which is Tuesday, after my live feed. This will be done on my live feed also, which is on Facebook. It's not on YouTube. So I'm going to encourage you to go over there if you want to and watch me do a little bit more. Trying to give everybody a little bit of, well, Facebook is where this started, but they don't know that I switched to Claybord, so they'll be happy to learn that, I guess. All right, so here we go. We're going to line this up again. We're going to zoom back in to about there. All right, I'm just going to put this back on. Now I can see much better. Got much too much air. Back valve. That should be good. Taped off all the other little ovals so that they will not interfere with my painting. And now I'm going to line that up, make sure it's dead on. A little slippery there. And here we go. Air drying it, spraying far away. Takes a while for the ink to get black, okay? The reason why, too, is there still was a little light mixture, I think, in the throat of the airbrush. So, okay, let's go back, let that dry a little bit. I'm going to go over here, make sure you have this wiped off on the back, the side, the top, rather, and line this back up now. Think precision, you know. Air dry. Okay. Now that can get darker. I can give it another coat. Let's see. I'm going to do that to this one. Maybe you guys won't see much more. Let me try to zoom in on the eyes a little bit more. Okay. Oops. Put that up like that. There we go. Okay. Here we go. Line it back up. Now it's much easier. Whoa. Okay. I'll explain what happened here. All right, guys. So my holder, because I twisted it just then, let me get this out of the way. My holder for my well, here it is. Here's the holder. Where is it? Let's see. It's right here. All this is like a pull-up. You pull it up high. I put a little piece of tape on it. I'm not real happy with it. My other one broke. I'd rather have, let's see, I'd rather have the clamp type that holds onto the phone. But this is what I have for now. And because I turned it and I didn't really bend the tubing, it fought the tape and it did that. So for now, that's what we have here, okay? We have the eyes, whoops. They can be one more coat. You know, we have the nostrils. You can see the inner nostril, the little darker area. And then I'm going to be doing some erasing too to get that to be where I want it. Now, hopefully I won't turn off the phone doing this. Let me try. If we lose the video, then I'll see you on the next video. It's very hard to pull this piece up. It's like very nerve-wracking that the phone's going to flip out of my hand. Okay, I got it back up, and I'm not going to bend it the way I just did, but I am going to put a piece of masking tape onto that, which was already there, but like I said, I tried to make it move against the grain, and it kind of undid itself. All right, so we're back up and running. Little hiccup I don't want this video to go much longer anyway, so let me just get back into the little area we were just talking about. Yeah, so right now we have, you know, that going on. I'm going to zoom in right here, and I'm going to take this stencil. I still have the black in there, and I'm just going to hold it right there, and I'm going to just spray the black because it wasn't lined up right. I'm just going to spray the black closer to the head, dust that out of focus hair. Whoops, again, too much air pressure. So used to working with higher pressure, but not that, not with the ink. Air dry. All right, let's see what we got here. Good. Okay, so that matched right up to the face. It was off. There's a little bit off here on the chin, so I'll line that up. Just the chin. I'm not going to focus on lining up the angles of this. I don't want to get that hit. All right, so we'll get this. I'm trying to see the drawing. There's the drawing. Wow. I don't know if it's that off, so I'm going to just do a little bit, right? Whoops. It's shaking on me. Not shaking. Rocking on me. Okay, I'm just going to put a little black off here. Spraying away, creating, yeah, it's kind of a fuzzy edge, and that's kind of going to work good for when I start to get into, oops, I don't want the real photograph getting ruined, so I'll be moving that. The real photo's beautiful. Maybe I'll attempt it in color. Okay, so this is Ellie. My granddaughter. She is now a lot older. That was when she was a toddler. And you just go back and forth, and you make your edge, you make it darker. Blow this way, turn the airbrush this way. Blow away from the artwork. There's a little ruined area there, but it's in the black, so you just work it over. Work away from the face. No overspray is going near the face. Okay, let that dry a little, some air. I'm going to put some more black in. And this is a longer video than I expected, so let me just do a little bit more of the black. Let's see, we're at 38 minutes. That's a long video. Okay. Some of my subscribers, please subscribe too if you haven't, and hit the notification bell. And share. You know, this is a channel that is available. If you enjoy this, then it will give other artists, other people that are trying to learn different things, that we all can share what we know. And now it's clogged. Okay, let me blow that out there. You might need a little tender care. Whoops, get out of there. It's all going to be black, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, it got clogged, and there it is, coming out a little bit. Okay, so it had like a particle. Doesn't matter if that gets funky looking, because in the end, when that's dry, and I start spraying my coatings over it, second and third coatings. See, I'm treating this a little bit. If I was using the Createx Black, this would be done, because Createx Black is different than the ink. It's not as watery. All right, so you get the idea. We've got one more thing. I know the video's long. I want to show you this stencil that Drew Blair sells. It comes with the hair, how to paint the hair, human hair, but it also, he sells it individually on his website. Okay, you can go to Blair School of Realism and then go to the store on his website. What's great about this is you can put, let's see, Let's just do, I'm gonna get, actually, I gotta find the shape. It's pretty much there. Now it's more curvy. Let me find something simpler so I don't have to spend too much time looking for a shape. All right. This is a kind of a no-brainer, just spraying off that edge there. But you can open them. So let me demonstrate it on a piece of paper, okay? It's going to be the same thing as the face, but without rushing it and ruining the face, because the video's longer than I expected. I'm going to just demonstrate this one time with the black so you can see it. And I have to shake that bottle and put a little bit more black in there. There we go. If you put too much black in and your airbrush is clean from another mixture, you're good to go with, you know, putting the little siphoning tier thing or whatever you call it in. Okay, so let's zoom into about there, maybe even closer. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so you can open these up. Let's open one a little bit bigger than normal. Whoops. Just spray something. All right, so I have the airbrush. I need to get the tip dry off, and I had a little too much airbrush. I'll just do one more. You can get fine hairs, super fine hairs. So let's try opening this one up just a whisper. Okay, that's down here. You can see it opening with my finger there. Whoops. Which one am I opening? Down here. Okay, so let's go into a clean area, and let's not even open it at all horribly. You can get darker in some areas, get lighter, get darker. And you're going to get a fine hair. If you pin it, you'll get this. I'm too zoomed. You'll get this if you pin it. It's got to be really placed carefully. One more time here. I'm going to just hardly open this. Just pin it down. Okay, I'm not pinning it hard enough, but because it has a little overspray off of it. But the idea is you can get very flowing hair going in many directions. Let's open this one and crisscross this one a little bit. That's pretty fine. Okay, and then from there, you start doing your shading, and you can find freehand, things like that, because hair is clusters usually. But that's just a little sample of, it's a very rushed sample of a tool that you can use, okay, that has so many shapes that you can look at Drew's portraits and see the wisps of hair. Look at this painting here and see where I can use it. Very fine hairs. They get into here where you would lift it off the surface a little bit and get out of focus hairs, more sharper by placing, and then it disappears. It's like lost, and then it kind of, you imagine it reappears there, and so on and so forth. That's what that's for. All right, well, thank you guys for hanging out and looking, and anybody that's gonna, see this later, I'm going to, again, ask if you would share it or bring it to the attention of others so that they can know my YouTube channel is here, and I'll be trying to, So let me just let this be known that this is going to be worked on. Pretty much what you're seeing here is just carried on the light shading. Come over to Facebook and watch me ruin it. No, hopefully I won't. But it's Bill Snegon, Snegon, and it's on Tuesday night, tomorrow night, at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm doing a live feed. I do a live stream every Tuesday night, unless there's something going on personally or health or something like that. But for the most part, it's been consistent. It's been every week, and you can even look at older back videos by going into my photos and my videos. and see things that I've painted, you know. So I guess I could show you one more thing that would be a successful painting on the Bristol board, okay, where this, I just was fortunate enough to capture Warren Bacall with the inks on nothing more than Bristol board. That might be a little pastel highlighting, which does not color shift. And so I was successful, but because she's so fair-skinned, I was not successful really with the, you know, the erasing and stuff on the Bristol board. So anyway, yeah, when you start erasing, I didn't do any erasing on here. If I did a little bit in here, it was covered up and it didn't hurt it. Here you could see the skin stencil that brought texture into her face. That was skin 5. You can see it on Drew Blair's website. Anyway, a little color shift here, but that's okay. They're pearls. So that's it, guys. All right, thanks for looking. Check out my Facebook Live if you want. And again, I'll see you on the next video. And take care. God bless you guys.